Listen, all the student of 4th semester electrical VTDC. Today I am discussing the last topic, materials. In electrical engineering there are three types of materials used. One is conductor, another is insulator, and third is semiconductor. Conductor, semiconductor and insulator. These are three types of materials are there. So first of all we discuss resistance oriented conductor which are used in electrical engineering. So in resistance there are four type of materials commonly used in copper, aluminium, silver and gold. Gold and silver, they are specific material used for the solar systems or any equipment used for solar energy or used for satellites. While copper and aluminium, they are commonly used for transmission, distribution and home appliances or in home or domestic wiring. So properties of these materials, they are specific property, 3-4 properties are there: mechanical strength, thermal stability and dielectric strength, and there is specific resistance. These are the four properties normally we have to look into the conductor. Conductor, they are having specific resistance. Their mechanical properties like tensile strength, malleability, ductility. These are the mechanical properties. In electrical property is specific resistance. That is the only one property. According to that, the resistance of the conductor is decided. So specific resistance of copper and aluminium we should know, and according to that we can calculate by applying formula R is equal to rho L upon A. In insulating material, there are so many materials coming under insulation. There are two categories. One is the insulators. There are polycon insulator, porcelain insulator, china clay insulator, feldspar insulators. These are the insulators category. So insulator, they are used normally in transmission line for construction of insulators used in the binding of conductor on the tower or poles. So there is a, according to construction design, insulators are different types which are used in the transmission and distribution. So in LT line we are normally use shackle insulators and pin insulators, and if you go for the EST lines, that is power line, in that we can use disc insulators, and for substation we use stake insulator and polycon insulator. So these are the types of insulators we are used in this particular section of distribution and transmission. These insulators also have certain property. That property of insulator, that should be mechanically strong. They should have good dielectric strength. Then they should be free from porosity. They are free from any alloy or any other material impurities. So these are called the specific material which is used for insulation purpose. So insulator and insulation, there is two different things. Insulators normally used for overhead lines and transmission substation and distribution substation, and to use as the bushing of transformer or any switch gears in which the insulator's part is required. So they are all porcelain insulator. They are having brown color. Glass is also insulator, but nowadays because mechanical strength of glass is less, it can be break, and temperature withstand capacity is also less as compared to porcelain insulator. That's why nowadays these glass insulators are not in use. They are costly also as compared to porcelain insulator. So maximum insulator used in transmission line as a pin insulator, shackle insulator and disc insulators. They are all porcelain and their color is brown. So in transmission substation and distribution substation, this type of insulators are used. Similarly, for the bushing of the transformers, bushing of the other switch gear, we use the porcelain insulator. Now when we talk about insulation, then insulation are different types. They are classified according to the temperature capacity also, and the resistance they are also classified according to withstand capacity of heat, that is degree centigrade. So insulation material, they are PVC, XLP insulator, cross polyethylene insulator insulation. Then insulation, cotton insulation is there. Then rubber insulation is also there. Then in material, insulation oil is also there. That is insulating oil which is filled in the transformer. So that it have a dielectric strength of about 40 to 60 kV per centimeter. So these are the property in which the dielectric property is most important for the insulating oil as compared to dielectric strength of insulators. They are measured in terms of kV rating. kV rating of insulator, they are giving in the specific value of the voltage on which they are to be used. So there are 11 kV lines, so we can have 11 kV insulator, but it withstand capacity is more than 11 kV. It is support, say for example 15 kV, up to 15 kV it can work, but it is normally used on 11 kV. So normally the withstand or flashover voltage of the insulator, it is more than its rated voltage. Normally 30% is the addition in that rated voltage that will give the flashover voltage. Flashover voltage means at which the flashover will occur in the insulator. So this is the property of the insulator. As I have told you, they should be mechanically strong, free from porosity, have high dielectric resistance or dielectric strength. So these are the property of the insulator. Now semiconductors materials are there, which are having two types of semiconductor material, in which intrinsic semiconductor and extrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor are those which are in pure form, in which there is no impurity. So germanium and silicon, these are the two materials used for semiconductor which are in pure form. So they are intrinsic. And whenever in pure form of semiconductor, if you add the impurity of thorium or plutonium like impurities added in silicon and germanium, then they are called extrinsic semiconductor. Semiconductors mainly used for manufacturing of rectifier, thyristor, diode, triode, or UJT, FET. There are so many electronic devices are there which are manufactured by semiconductor. So they are use of this. So three type of material which I have discussed in electrical engineering, commonly used: conducting material, insulating material and semiconducting material. Apart from this, for construction of the core of the transformer or core of the any other equipment for electromagnetic application, in that case the silicon steel we use, and we use other material also. They are ferromagnetic material, paramagnetic material and magnetic material. So there are different categories of these materials, in which ferromagnetic material come, paramagnetic material come and magnetic material come. We normally use magnetic material which is iron. Iron means iron, either cast iron or wrought iron. This can be used to manufacture the earth wire, and for the formation or manufacturing of the transformer or other equipment in which the core is required, so we use silicon steel. So these have property of permeability which I already discussed in magnetic effect of electric current, in which the flux density, permeability, permeability and reluctance and flux and all things they have discussed. So I have discussed. So these are all coming under the properties of magnetic material. So there is a BH curve is there which can be drawn by just forming a circuit in which magnetic material is put, on which the coil of copper is wounded and it is connected with emitter and voltmeter and series and parallel, and we apply with the help of autotransformer voltage to that. So if flux starts hitting in that coil, and it will go increase up to the saturation value, and then reversal of current takes place. So this will form a curve that is called BH curve. So BH curve formation, it is done with the help of the specimen, either in I section, E section, L section, whatever type of section you can select for silicon steel. So that will shows the saturation value of the flux in that particular conductor, that particular material of silicon steel, depending upon its permeability. So in material part, normally questions ask that what are the types of materials used in electrical engineering. So that I have given 3 types of material, and sometime ask the classification of resistance on the basis of temperature. So on the basis of temperature, the resistances are classified as in the different class of insulation, in which in class of insulation they are measured in terms of degree centigrade. So there are overall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 class of insulations are there with respect to temperature from 90 degree to 180 degree above. So I just give the name of those insulating material class. Like Y class insulator, it is used up to 90 degree centigrade. After that, A class insulator is coming, which is used from 90 degree above to up to 105 degree centigrade. Then there is a E type insulation material class is there, which is used up to 120 degree centigrade, from 105 degree to 120 degree centigrade. Then B class insulation material, they are used up to 130 degree centigrade. Then F type material use, it is used up to 155 degree centigrade. Then H type materials, insulating material use or insulation use up to 180 degree, that is H type. And all insulating material or insulation which is used above 180 degree, they are coming in C class insulator. So you just see this particular class of insulation with respect to temperature. Insulation class Y, A, E, B, F, H and C, and their temperature varies from 90 degree to 180 degree and 180 degree and above. So this is normally sometime asked in the examination. Define the class of insulation, define insulation and define the class of insulation and give their temperature limit. So you can give this temperature limit for the insulation material to be used up to how much degree centigrade. So in material part, if you go through, this is only one last topic is there in your beam, that is basic electrical engineering and material. So aim is the material part. It is a very short part is there in which I have discussed all these type of materials. You see in your syllabus also, they are giving all this type of material. First they have classified the different type of material used in electrical engineering, in which conductor come first, then insulator come, then semiconductor. So these 3 forms are there. Then in this particular form conductor, apart from that, some magnetic material also used in electrical engineering. So in magnetic material, as I have told you, mainly the silicon steel is used. So silicon steel use depending upon the value of permeability, that is mu r. I have given a relation B upon H is equal to mu 0 into mu r. So mu 0 is the absolute permeability, that is 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7, and mu r, that is the relative permeability, depends upon the type of silicon steel. So these material used for formation of core of the transformer, generator, motor, all these core are formed by silicon steel, and they are magnetic material. The other material coming under this category, they are paramagnetic and ferromagnetic and non-magnetic. Non-magnetic material means which are not affected by the magnet. So these are the categories of different type of materials which is used in electrical engineering. So if sometime they ask a short note, write a short note on materials used in electrical engineering. So you have to write a short note as per what lecture I have given. In detail design of the material, it is not in the basic course. If you study in the higher semesters, then it may be come that you have to describe the various detailed properties of all type of materials, in which many properties will come. But in the basic engineering, we have to use the three types of material. Their basic property. Basic property is the mechanical properties and electrical properties and thermal properties. These three properties are we have to study in the basic properties of the material. So as I have told you that insulating material, it should have high withstand thermal capacity, हाई टेम्परेचर तक वो वर्क करे. तो टेम्परेचर लिमिट मैंने बता दिया आपको 90 से लेकर 180 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड एंड अबव. So class of insulation is classified according to that. Similarly, resistance should have the mechanical property and electrical property both. In electrical property, the conducting material should have specific resistance as low as possible. So we have selected only 4 material for use of in electricity: copper, aluminum, gold and silver. So gold and silver, they are very costly metal, so they are used of course I have told in satellite application. And for our general purpose application in transmission and distribution and domestic wiring, we normally use these 2 material, copper and aluminum. So their specific resistance is low and have higher conductivity, higher mechanical strength. Now mechanical strength is compared between aluminum and copper. So most of the machines in which you require mechanical strength, or where mechanical strength is a prime factor for selection of material, then you go for copper, not for aluminum. So transformer are also available in both the winding. Copper winding transformer are there and aluminum winding transformer are there. Copper winding transformer, they are costly, and normally the resistivity or specific resistance of copper or aluminum, it is normally 1.5 times in the relation. So if you select suppose 4 square mm copper cable for any particular distribution, then if you replace this 4 square mm cable with the of copper by aluminum, then you have to select 6 square mm aluminum. So 4 square mm copper is equivalent to 6 square mm aluminum. So there is a 1.5 times difference in the resistivity of the copper and aluminum. So whenever we select or convert aluminum into copper or copper into aluminum, so you just use this 1.5 times the specific resistance. So naturally for 4 square mm you go for 6 square mm. 6 square mm के लिए you can go for 10 square mm. So like this you can change the square mm cross-sectional area of the conductor, which is to be used in LT line distribution or for service line connection in the domestic application. So this is what about all the materials I have discussed according to the scope of the syllabus in which it is given, and there is a one point is given method of drawing BH curve for the magnetic material. So BH curve means B means flux density, H is ampere turns. So that for that I can give you a simple circuit of drawing BH curve, that is given by this particular diagram which I draw here. A specimen is selected for which we have to draw the BH curve. So this is a, suppose I use a bar magnet as a specimen. So on bar magnet, I show this particular diagram from the book also because it is a slightly complicated diagram. So I just with the help of that I will show you magnetic material. Magnetic material I show that is called hysteresis loop. You are just seeing this. This is the BH curve, and specimen is a bar magnet. We supply the current through it, so saturation point will come at the top, and then a reversal of current takes place, and this particular loop is completed. So this is called BH curve. And practically in the lab also we can draw this BH curve with the help of a circuit which is known as BH curve formation circuit, in which you can check the value of different type of specimen for which the BH curve you can draw. So this is a simple one method in which you can connect a ammeter or voltmeter in series and parallel, and a galvanometer for direction, changing of direction of current. So by slowly increasing the voltage, you will find the number of turns, that is H. B is at the top and H is the, in this particular section if we just draw the BH curve, then on horizontal scale x-axis we take H, and on vertical axis Y we can take B. B is the flux density and H is the ampere turns, that is N into I, and B is equal to phi upon I, phi upon A. So this type of curve is drawn by that experiment. So BH curve, and this relation as I have given to you, that B upon H is equal to mu 0 into mu R, that is called absolute permeability and relative permeability. So when we start this particular experiment, then this is start from this is the saturation point. After saturation point there is a reversal of current, and this particular curve is completed. So this is called hysteresis loop or BH curve. ओके ये थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट हो गया, ये पॉइंट एक्चुअल में सेंटर में रहता है, तो आप जब भी ड्रा करें ये पॉइंट को सेंटर में ले लीजिए, और अक्रॉस दिस यू कैन ड्रा दिस कर्व. So this is the BH curve. Sometimes question may be asked like this, draw the BH curve and explain its importance for magnetic circuit. So magnetic effect of electric current, I have taken the theory part of this particular portion, and here only in the magnetic material we have to classify it as a paramagnetic material, ferromagnetic material and magnetic material. So these are the three types depending upon the permeability of the substance. So these are all about the material part of your course, in which we have to discuss this different type of material and their basic properties. As per designing of other machineries. There are some specific properties are also there which can be discussed only when we go for the designing of any electrical machine. So for basic application, these are the three type of material. Once again I have told you: conducting material, insulating material, and semiconducting material. Semiconductor material mainly used in electronic devices. All the electronic devices, they are manufactured with the help of silicon and germanium, plutonium, thorium as impurities. And detailed study of the basic electronics, you will learn the other formation of this material: p-type semiconductor and n-type semiconductor. So p-type semiconductors are those in which conduction of current takes place with the help of holes, and the n-type materials are those in which conduction takes place with the help of electron. So this is a matter of basic electronics. When you go in detailed study of p-n junction and p-type and n-type material, in that the whole study you will do in basic electronics subject, in which p-n junction, diode, function of transistor and all that, and basic theory of this p-n junction or p-type, n-type material, qualities, properties, characteristics, all these things. So for today, for completion of this particular course of material portion, that is the last topic which I have completed. So as per the given syllabus of material in the subject, I have covered only according to the given scope. I have not gone much detail in the every type of insulator. Otherwise, porcelain consists of three components: china, clay, feldspar, and one particular material I am forgetting there. So there are three material: porcelain insulator can be manufactured, feldspar, kaolite या kaolin, yes, kaolin is there. So feldspar, kaolin and china clay, these are the three materials used for construction of manufacturing of the insulator. So when you go into the detailed study of the ingredient of the every particular material which is used in the electrical engineering, then you will find their ingredient material are something else, and for the aid of this ingredient material, the particular material in form of insulator it is manufactured. There is a PVC, polyethylene, polyvinyl chloride. So here naturally combination of polyvinyl chloride is then a vinyl is one material, chloride is one subject, poly and many. So polyvinyl chloride, that's why it is called PVC, isn't it? Similarly, XLP type of insulation material is there. So it is called cross-linked polyethylene. Again, that chemical formula is there: cross-linked polyethylene insulation. So this is the rubber insulation is there, cotton insulation is there. All these insulating materials, they are having some ingredient material. When you go into the detailed properties of that, then you have to just cross-verify this. Similarly, when you go for the conductor, so conductor may be sometime alloy also used as a conductor material wherever it is necessary. Nichrome wire, nichrome is a material also, it is coming under conducting material, in which it is become red hot because of the very high specific resistance value. So in this way you see that all materials, they are having their specific property, and these are the three properties: chemical property, thermal property and physical property. So all these materials which I have discussed, these are classified into three main property: physical property, chemical property and thermal properties. Thermal property means there is resistant capacity with the temperature or the heat. So this is I think all about all the materials. now I have completed your course of BEAM, so you should go through my all lectures which I have uploaded on your WhatsApp group, or also given on your this YouTube. So you go through the heading of the particular topic, and you will get all the study material there. And other things, you prepare your notes with the help of my lectures, and if any difficulty or something you want to ask, then you write on my WhatsApp number. I will give the answer of that. So this is all for your course of BEAM. Thank you very much. I wish you all the best luck for your coming exams. So this is all for today. Thank you.